Marc Lotter on that, the former press secretary to the vice president, kind enough to join us. Marc, it's a crowded field. Your old boss is just one of a dozen right now, could be one of more than a dozen. What chances do you give him?
Well, I think it's really a one-person race right now with Donald Trump. If you look at the polls, he's at 53% with a 30% lead over Ron DeSantis. So that's a big hill to climb. But then everybody else, it's a Mount Everest-sized mountain to climb. And the question, and I think Governor Kristi Noem asked it correctly, is how are you going to differentiate yourself? Because all of these candidates are going to be running on Trump policies because they worked. The question is who's going to be the person that's best suited to implement them again and carry it forward? And do people want, the original Donald Trump, or do they want someone that, that may have a different smile, a different tone, a different style? And that's really where the voters are going to have to decide.
You think about it, Mark, I mean, Iowa plays to the vice president's strength. It's got a strong religious base of voters who have a great fondness for the former vice president. Iowans can surprise you with some of their picks over the years. And I'm thinking as well that right now, what seemed like a huge lead for Donald Trump, at least in the Buckeye state, is down to 10 points over Ron DeSantis as we speak. Now, that can change, and you've often reminded me of that. Polls do change. But where does the former vice president fit into that?
Well, I think the biggest thing for any of the candidates, including Vice President Pence, is organization, because the Iowa caucus is not your traditional election day. It's a caucus, which means you have to have feet on the ground, people going door to door, neighborhood to neighborhood to get people who support you into those caucus sites. And that's really where we've seen a lot of big name candidates fail before. They might have the big fundraising numbers, they might have the big message, the big name, but they can't deliver boots on the ground. Now, Donald Trump does have a great team on the ground. He's had them there for many, many years. Mike Pence has been there for a very long time. So for all of these other candidates, who do you have organizing your caucus strategy, and how well can you execute on the day of the Iowa caucuses?
We're told that with all the money that Ron DeSantis has, and it could be over $300 million when all is said and done if you include PAC money and the like, he's not pouring it into TV commercials, at least not yet, but he is pouring it into that door-to-door campaign. And I'm just wondering right now, as we look at what he took in his first 24 hours, like I said, he's substantially over that now. But how do you feel candidates target their dough in a state like Iowa? Because you're quite right, it's not like a primary state.
Well, and that's where you have to balance it, because, paid canvassers or paid people going door to door are really not as effective as having people who are truly loyal to you. I remember candidates in the past who've paid people to go door to door, and they're sitting at Starbucks and they're just logging phone calls rather than actually getting out there and doing the work. And so that's where having years of head start actually helps. So someone like a Mike Pence, someone like Donald Trump, who have been there over the course of many years, have well-established names leading those efforts, that puts them at an advantage, whether someone who's flying in at the last minute might have a big bank account, but can you get it with real people who know Iowa, know those neighborhoods, can get those peoples into the school gymnasiums, into the rec centers on caucus night?
Marc Lotter, great seeing you again, Marc. We have a ways to